Hello everybody and welcome to another video. So the devs for Space Marine 2 have just dropped the patch notes for tomorrow's fix of 4.0. So let's jump in and let's see what the big changes are gonna be. Yes, so this is literally just dropped a couple of minutes ago, and we are getting 4.1 tomorrow at some point, and this is going to be the fixing of the issues of patch 4.0. I've had a quick flick through. There are some substantial changes to this and some major changes, so let's have a little look together. So first things first is the AI director in enemy respawns. Here was a resounding the reasoning before patch 4. When the game came out in September, ruthless difficulty win rate hovered over 60%. So basically they tweaked it, and for example, a win rate on the easiest difficulty dropped after 4.0 from 95 to 93%. So basically that's what they're doing. So minimal, average and substantial difficulties respawn rate on extremist enemies to match pre-patch 4.0 levels. So basically they're rolling that change back, which is a really good one, because I did a mission on average this morning, and in that mission I got 2 Carnivexes and I think 6 Zoanthropes and about 2 Lictors, and this is on an average mission that most of the characters should be around about level 5 or below. That is just mental. So that's a good change. Ruthless difficulty, significant reduced respawn rate, spawn rate of extremist enemies. That's kind of cool. Ruthless is fine, but you know, the spawn time is a good welcome change. So weapons in operations, and so we're getting some major buffs here. So bolt weaponry, auto bolt rifles, bolt rifle, heavy bolt rifle, stalker, marksman, instigator, sniper rifle, carbine, oculus and heavy bolter are all seeing some chunky, meaty damage increases, which is good to see, because I have been saying this for a long time. Bolter weaponry is underperforming in operations, especially against bosses. So this is really, really nice to see, and it will make my tactical feel really nice. Difficulties. So ruthless players, armor is going to be increased by 10%. Now, obviously, with patch 4.4, this was dropped by 20%. So this is going to get a 10% buff, which is nice. Nothing about substantial. So it's basically you're going to be on the same level of a substantial, which is good. And lethal type formation system has been removed. So lethal formation, you are now going to be able to run around and get your armor back regardless of where your teammates are. So the reasoning for that is, before anything else, let's just clarify our reasoning for introducing this mechanic. As we worked on adding a new difficulty tier, we needed to make this challenging and meaningful and interesting. With type formation, our objective was to add a new layer of challenge for our more skilled players by adding horizontal progression rather than just vertical progression, dealing more damage to even stronger enemies. This game is about power fantasy and enemies that take dozens of melee hits to break it. Thus, the challenge needed to come from other sources. This system was also designed as a first step towards the introduction of a gameplay modifiers down the line, both negative and positive, something like World War Z players will be familiar with, but our feedback showed that the proximity requirements felt too restrictive. Class like Assault and Vanguard felt especially penalized, as playing them effectively requires certain freedom of movement, and as a result, we removed the system entirely and will continue to work on modifiers until they're ready. We will continue to monitor our feedback after the deployment of 4.1 to make sure lethal difficulty feels as challenging and rewarding as it should. That's kind of cool. I've not really had massive difficulties with the type formation mechanics as itself. I've had some pretty good teams, but it's a welcome change. You know, I do feel that some classes such as Assault and Vanguard and snipers were not really being used. I was mainly using my Vanguard a lot, but only because people were running tacticals a lot. That would be quite nice. So so we do have some things to fix as well, which is really cool. So bots deal 30% more damage to bosses. That's cool. Fighting Zoanthropes is often reported as a source of frustration. They're fucking shit. I hate these things. Alongside the changes in the AI directory, we're taking away some of the shield's effectiveness and alleviating some of the frustration. Shield swap cooldown with another paired Xenothrope is increased by 10%. That's a nice change, but I would just like to see the shield be damageable, so you'd be able to smash it and get it turned off for, say, 10 to 15 seconds before it actually gets put on, because there's nothing worse than the way that they move around is that the one that's shielded moves in front of the one that you have to damage, and you can't get line of sight on them. They're really, 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 really frustrating to deal with. But hopefully this is a good change, and we'll see what it's going to be like. General fixes and tech: fix the bug that causes the roll distance to be shorter than before, and fixed bugs with unlocking lethal difficulty roll decals, fixed crashes as well. And that's it. So there's some pretty decent changes, and I quite like it. Bolt weaponry getting buffed is really good. Tight formation being removed is a win, and the spawn timers coming from the lower difficulties is also really nice to see. So all in all, a pretty decent one. And as I said in my last video, I fully expected either tight formation to be reduced or just flat out removed. So, you know, and it's good bolt weapons. So it's going to be good. I'm going to be trying this out tomorrow once the patch goes live, and we'll have a little look and see what it's like. But that's the video, everybody. If you like what I do, please like, share, subscribe, and all of that jazz. And I will see you in the next video, everyone. Goodbye for now.